help you.
Correct. If you don't,
that's on you.
Correct.
That doesn't sound to me like don't take your medication.
He took that caused his heart issues.
That's kind of like, here's the law. If you want to break it, that's on you.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm saying this because, they can give you so much medication, you're a zombie. Or you can dial in certain medications at the right level, carefully prescribed, and it can really help with the aggression and impulse control, along with some other things that can really, really help and make you much less reactive and explosive. We're talking about the autism spectrum disorder, and I want to add someone to the conversation here to discuss this with me, and this is Dr. Frank Lawless. Now, Dr. Lawless is the chairman of the Dr. Phil Advisory Board. We have an advisory board here of the top minds in psychology, psychiatry, medicine, sociology, theology, all of the different disciplines. And Dr. Lawless is the co-founder of the Lawless PvP and Peace Center. He is also author of The Autism Answer. And The Autism Answer is a really important book because I believe Dr. Lawless is one of the foremost autism experts on the planet. And he's joining us via Polycom right now. Dr. Lawless, when we talk about the autism spectrum disorder, you talk about the diagnostic triad, and we're going to put that up and talk about that. And Dr. Lawless, you say the diagnostic triad, the first is there is a lack of social skills, correct?
That is absolutely correct, and that's that comes from a neurological diagnosis as well. So we're not only talking about behavior, but we're also talking about some of the causes.
Right, and this is a manifestation of a brain mechanism referred to as mu.
The mu manifests itself when you have this kind of lack of ability to deal with social skills, and is one of the major features of autism.
So what we're saying is there's a neurological thing here, Lori, where people that are on the spectrum, they don't have the ability to look at what's going on around them and say, this is successful behavior, I can emulate this. That's how we learn social behavior, and that's not something that folks on the autism spectrum can do, and that's a neurological deficit. It's not psychological, it's neurological, so a medication can really help there, and if you take that away, then you take away their ability to start behaving more appropriately. Now, Dr. Lawless, the second in the triad is sensory processing problems. Can you talk about those just real quickly?
Well, basically, this is how your brain basically can process information and data in a proper way. And I usually use the example of going to a grocery store where the normal person would see a lot of color, a lot of lights, a lot of things. In an autistic kid, basically all these things overwhelm them. And so this causes a lot of anguish, anxiety, and they don't have any behavioral way of dealing with this.
When they feel the anxiety and feel overwhelmed, then they don't have the ability to inhibit aggression, and that's when you see the explosive behavior.
That's absolutely right.
It does not mean that there is a lack of intellectual ability. It does not mean that there is a lack of communication skills. So we know, and I'm meeting John here and talking to him, and I've commented, and you've been watching and listening. He is quite intelligent and has an excellent vocabulary. So he understands completely, and he can say what he needs to say and understand what's said to him. So just because someone's on the autism spectrum, don't make a mistake of thinking that they're not intelligent and cannot say what they mean and mean what they say. True?
That's absolutely true, and it's very important to know, again, that's a neurological issue, not a total psychological maladjustment.